أنا عايز أرجع بحضراتكم ل 27 يناير 2023، الأسبوع المهم جدا اللي كان في آخر كلام، واللي استضفت فيه لأول مرة على شاشة عربية البروفيسور ستيف هانكي، وهو أستاذ الاقتصاد في جامعة جونز هوبكنز في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. الحلقة دي هي وثيقة اقتصادية تاريخية لمن أراد أن يفهم مشاكل الاقتصاد المصري ومشكلتنا مع صندوق النقد الدولي. خليني أعرض لحضراتكم فيديوهين من مقابلة آخر كلام وأسامة جويش مع ستيف هانكي السنة اللي فاتت، وتخيل الكلام ده النهاردة، لأنه ستيف هانكي كان قاري المشهد اللي احنا فيه النهاردة. أيامها طلعوا العيال الصغيرين بتوع اللجان الإلكترونية قعدوا يشتموني ويشتموا ستيف هانكي، يقول لك جايب واحد إخوان من جامعة أمريكية وبيقول لنا خبير اقتصادي. اسمع ستيف هانكي بيتكلم بيقول إيه عن صندوق النقد، وبيتكلم بيقول إيه عن العملة، وبيتكلم بيقول إيه عن التعويم، وتعالوا نرجع نعلم.
Which was one of the most dramatic days in Egyptian economic history. You tweeted, and I quote, "Egypt will soon learn an age-old lesson. Contrary to IMF speak, countries can devalue their way to prosperity." How do you explain that?
Well, the IMF, by the way, since 1962, there have been many IMF programs in Egypt. Every decade, Egypt has been involved in an IMF program, and none of these programs have worked. And the new program will not work, by the way. It is not working. Starting in October, when they did the durable flexible exchange rate, what did I tell you? The pound collapsed. It went down 22% against the US dollar. So the IMF programs do not work. We've done an extensive study of the IMF programs, and actually countries with IMF programs fare worse than countries that are similar but have no IMF programs. And this devaluing your way to prosperity, the IMF likes to go with these flexible exchange rates, devalue the currency. They say that's going to lead to prosperity, but think of it. If that was true, we would have one of the greatest economies in the world in Venezuela, where over the last few years, they've completely decimated the Venezuelan bolivar. It's depreciated by over 99% against the US dollar. Or go to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is in Africa, and it's devalued its currency again over the last year by over 90%. So, and they don't have prosperity. Look at the alternative. The one currency that's actually appreciated in real inflation-adjusted terms since World War I, the only one in the world that's actually appreciated in real terms over time, the Swiss franc. And the Swiss economy does beautifully. They have a tremendous export sector, very stable economy, and a very strong currency. The strongest currency in the world over time is the Swiss franc.
And Sisi said that there is a global economic crisis that Egypt is not responsible for, and the prices are soaring everywhere in the world. So do you agree with the president of Egypt? Do you think the world is facing a global inflation?
No. Inflations are always local. President Sisi is just trying to distract from the real problem, which is a local problem. And the local problem is the fact that you have a current, in particular, a currency that's really kind of junk. If you look at the pound since January 2022, little over a year ago, it's depreciated by about 47% against the US dollar.
Yeah.
Now they came in with a new program supposedly that was blessed by the IMF. On October 27th, 2022, they have what they call a durable but flexible exchange rate, which is a contradiction in terms, by the way. Durable flexible exchange rate. It's a kind of a nonsense thing. But what's happened the pound's depreciated since October 27th, 2022 by 22% against the US dollar. So as the pound goes down, inflation is imported. And why is it imported? Because of a local problem, not a global problem. The pound is a local currency. It's the Egyptian money. It isn't a global currency. In fact, no one outside of Egypt uses the pound because it's junk. It's worthless, basically. For international transactions, it's just not used.
Yeah, I think this is a very important point.
طيب ده كان جزء من مقابلة آخر كلام مع ستيف هانكي أستاذ الاقتصاد في جامعة جون هوبكنز في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية السنة اللي فاتت. الراجل اتكلم عن علاقتنا بصندوق النقد الدولي، إزاي صندوق النقد دمر تجارب لبلدان مختلفة، تجارب اقتصادية لبلدان مختلفة، وأن الجنيه المصري ما هو إلا خردة، وأن المشكلة المصرية محلية بالأساس للاقتصاد المصري.